Hello curious people, welcome to a longer video on update on the RFOX VFOX farming. In particular, I'm just going to be going over the price change, what the whales are doing briefly, an update from RFOX on Twitter, a question or a couple of questions I've got from YouTube, and changes that I'm making personally in my mind. I'm also going to clear up a little bit of information regarding a comparison from VFOX to Step Finance. Okay, so first things first, what is the price? You've got a couple of ways to work out price. You can come to VFOX, to rfox.finance. And down the bottom here, we've got the price here that kind of auto updates, but it's not kind of a live price. The best way is to go to trade, put in BUSD and VFOX, put in $100, even though I've got nothing, and it will tell me down the bottom, it's $3.22 per VFOX. So the second option is to go to Coingecko. Add this to your bookmarks. If you're not using Coingecko, use it. It just will track portfolios. It tracks coin history, coin prices. It's brilliant. It also shows you all of the websites connected to that project. So we can see here $3.09. It's down almost 30% in 24 hours. The trading volume's 431,000, so it's dropping a little bit. And we come on down, and this is the information that we really want. We want to see the all-time high, which was $5.28 3 days ago. So we're down 40% from that. The all-time low is $3. This is not correct, actually. If we're on the 7-day chart here, really, it started at 13 cents. The reason why it's not shown on Coingecko is because VFOX wasn't added to Coingecko immediately. Now, I've mentioned this a few times, so if you've watched any previous videos, you'll understand. But when prices go from 13 cents straight up to like $3.50, $3.80, $4, you can certainly buy in if you want to and convert half of your RFOX to VFOX and farm away. But sometimes it's kind of a little bit better to buy a little bit. Maybe it's 10% this day, 10% this day, 10% this day, etc. If you have been watching this video and you jumped in at a higher rate, something like $5 or at the all-time high, $5.28, then personally I still wouldn't worry. I'll explain that in a moment, but right now at $3, I think this is a much better entry. If you haven't got involved, you may want to get involved. Remember, anything I say is just educational. It's supposed to be basic, something that anyone can understand, hopefully, and it's not financial advice. So the reason why I wouldn't be worried if I got in at $5.28 or even like $5, say yesterday it was $5 as well. And that's basically because the rewards are really good. Just make sure you are actually farming. So if we go to our farms, we'll see that we're earning about 7% a day at the moment. If that drops to 6% tomorrow and then 5% and keeps on dropping by 1% every day, it still means in about a week and a half, as long as the price doesn't dip any further, you would have basically made back maybe a little bit over a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks maximum. Even if you entered at this point, in 2 weeks' time, you'll be back to a little bit of profit. So, or if the price starts to go up, which I think it will, then you'll be at profit a lot sooner. So don't kick yourself if you've bought in at a high amount, and if you buy in now and it goes a little lower, same thing. Now, the reason why I think this is a kind of a good entry point is when we take the $3 and we times it by the circulating supply, we get the current market cap. The market cap is only $25 million, and that's pretty good. So it's a project which has fundamentals. It has a really good team. The team behind it, RFOX, their token's dipped as well. Well, this token has dipped as well, but that's still fine. They have a market cap of 300 million, and VFOX, even though there's a lot of competition in the metaverse space, such as other projects like Decentraland, they're building, they've got money, they've got a great leader. If you're not following Bitcoin Benny, then this is who he is on Twitter. Follow him. You can see all of his update videos, which are really, really good. He's there, let's see, like for example, they do that all the time. Very transparent team, and the reason why it's good to have money is they can actually go and pay for good developers to actually make this happen. So you know, if you're just trying to do everything on a shoestring budget, especially in a time right now when there's so much demand for these developers, you know, they're not going to jump in and work for free. Let's just be honest. Okay, so if it's $3 right now, I think that's a good price. I think even if this was a market cap of 50 million, I think that would be fine. But the reason why I had initially compared this to Step Finance is a project on Solana, was not because they share like fundamentals or anything like that. Fundamentally, so the actual what can be delivered by the team of RFOX, it's so much stronger than what Step Finance is, at least at the moment. The reason why I mentioned it solely was because the only way to get the token was by farming. So same thing happened with Step Finance. It launched at 5 cents, goes very quickly up to $9 like within a day and a bit, and then it comes up to $10, and then it just starts going down. And we need to just do the market capitalization information again. So if this was $10 and we times it by the max supply, so the maximum amount of tokens that was ever going to be released, it would have a fully diluted valuation, which is not a great kind of thing to look at, but it's important for this one example, of $10 billion. And this project was not worth 10 billion, and it wouldn't be worth 10 billion. So that alone would basically indicate that the price had to come down. The other thing that we had to do is, even if we just did the circulating supply, which goes up day by day, but let's say this was 20 million and we times it by $10, it's a $200 million market cap for a project that is building. RFOX is 300 million and they're doing really, really well. So once again, that would be overvalued. Right now, if we look at these prices, even at $5.28 times by the circulating supply, we'll just go 8 million just to keep it simple. It's 42 million, and 42 million's maybe a smidge high, but not really. It certainly isn't 200 million. So keep that in mind, that this is still quite low. But the reason most likely for the big drop, it's not due to our whales that we've been following. It's most likely just due to the fact that everyone's been harvesting. So when you come in here and you harvest, what actually happens is the biggest whale of them all is the RFOX team. But they have the most amount of liquidity. And as you can see from the statement here, every time anyone harvests VFOX, RFOX Labs liquidity pool tokens staked in their farms, they get harvested too. And this VFOX is added back into the pool and the RFOX removed. So what that basically means is they harvest away and that VFOX is converted straight into RFOX and it's sent to this token, to this contract address. We jump into this token, this contract address, and we'll see that they've got over 9 million RFOX. They had initially only anticipated probably 2 million that they would get in the first week. And the great thing about this, as I've mentioned, is they're burning it. So burning something means that they take the tokens and they send it to an address which no one has access to and can never have access to. So it basically means that if we go to RFOX Labs here and we see there's a max supply of 2 billion, all of a sudden that max supply, well, it's still going to be 2 billion, but in reality, it's going to go down by, let's say, 10 million. So then it's, you know, it's less. And then they're going to keep doing this and keep doing this. And so burn, burn, burn. So who knows? I mean, this could be, at the end, it could be 1 billion, you know, 900 million. And that would be a significant drop in the total supply. So that's a very, very good thing. So basically what happens is every time someone harvests, they also harvest too, and they sell that straight for RFOX. And in the last couple of days, I believe they've probably got about 2 million, probably maybe 3 million RFOX. So let's just have a look and see. I mean, that alone, that sell pressure of $639,000. So really, the biggest whale is causing this drop in price, which is a good thing. It's a good thing. So I think entering now is worthwhile, as I've mentioned. I have been following the whales, and one's just accumulating like an absolute boss, which I'll cover in another video. The other one's been selling a little bit. So a quick update. I had spoken to a friend yesterday, and he is farming this, and he's very, very bullish on the RFOX VFOX ecosystem. And he tried to get a lot of VFOX on day one, and he got none. And he did everything right. He went and, this is how you do it initially. He went and he upped what they call slippage, 49%. That basically means that you could the price could be hugely different from what you're requesting, but you're still willing to pay it as long as it's within that 49%. And he also increased his gas to an insane amount. So I think if we put in 1,000 Gwei and probably 500,000. So that transaction maximum cost could have cost him over, I think, $300. He did a couple of transactions, and he wasted $350 US on gas and didn't get in. So if you are regretting that you didn't manage to get in by upping your gas, as I suggested in a previous video, well, it's good to know that, well, it's not good to know, it's just important to know that people that did it even completely the smartest way still didn't get in. They had to buy in at the normal prices of 10 RFOX or 1 VFOX and stuff like that. So just keep that all in mind, and don't regret if you didn't make the big gas jump initially. Okay. So I had a couple of questions from Lynn. She wants some strategies on exiting the liquidity pool. What are whales likely to do at the end? And is there a mass exodus and dump prior to 5-month end? So most whales that don't believe in the project, they'll be taking profits like every day, most likely. And someone that believes in the project, and we can kind of work that out with some sort of certainty by looking at their Explorer, which I'll show in another video. But anyone that's kind of deeply invested in projects and isn't doing a lot of selling, we should be able to see from previous projects that they'll be in. They just want to kind of accumulate things that they believe in. So those people we don't really need to worry about. Is there likely to be a mass exodus and dump prior? It really all comes down completely to Benny and the team. If they haven't shown any fantastic renderings, if it's not in beta, if there's no hype starting to get around it, then it's likely that it will dump down. But this is a very biased viewpoint I have. I think Benny's brilliant. Like, not every CEO is going to make the best decisions all the time. Plus, what I consider a best decision is not necessarily the best decision. Like, I would really like it if Benny had airdropped some VFOX to people that tried to get in but couldn't get in, as long as they had migrated over their RFOX and actually tried to interact with the contract. But nevertheless, he's a legendary guy, and he's there, and he's very visionary. He's there and he wants to build. Because they have money, they can hire all the right developers, as I mentioned. And as long as they can keep those guys on target and make it happen, then it should be fine. If we see no updates, which I'm sure we will, but if we see no updates, no beta, no kind of launch happening, then I would say there'd be a bit of a mass exodus. It all comes around hype and usability. So right now people are chasing those gains, and that's fine, but things need a utility for them to actually have value. The exception being Dogecoin for some strange reason. Okay, now let's jump into strategies. These strategies that you can see, they are just 3 random strategies. You can change them the way you want. I'm just going to mention a couple of things. So first things first, we'll go with if you're harvesting your VFOX. If you're harvesting your VFOX and it's gone down quite low like that, you probably you may want to wait and see if it picks up a little bit. So if we're harvesting right now at $3.18 and we're converting half of it into RFOX and we're compounding, well, we may just want to just hold off on that harvest just for a couple of hours and see if it picks up to $3.50. However, that's if you have the time. If you don't have the time, then just you know, do it every day at at agreed upon time, and kind of don't worry about, you know, if you didn't make $10 or $20 because you didn't write for the exact time, if you didn't wait for the exact time. Just worry about what's going to happen long term. How valuable is this going to be? So I think this would probably be the best idea for the majority of people watching this video. So this is for the RFOX fan who also wants to take some profits. So what I'm suggesting here, remember, just suggestions, not financial advice, more kind of ideas. Let's call them ideas. So we'll compound each day for 2 weeks. We're going to end on the 25th of the 5th. And the reason why we're doing it for 2 weeks is these 2 weeks are really, really high with rewards. So this is when the APR is going to be really, really juicy, and then it'll start to drop down. The other reason is in after 2 weeks, we can come into pools and we can take our RFOX and we can stake it here. And that way there's no impermanent loss. So there's no changing of how much RFOX to VFOX we have. We might just deposit a bit of RFOX, like 1,000 or whatever, and it's going to earn some VFOX. And from there, we can take that VFOX and we can stake it ourselves into this pool and earn more VFOX while also harvesting every day. So that's the first strategy. So as I mentioned, after 2 weeks, we take profit, we convert 50% of VFOX into RFOX and stake for VFOX. So we take all of the VFOX, we've harvested it, we go into our trade section, 50% of it we convert into RFOX, we come down to our pool and we just stake it. So we're not with this particular strategy, we're not compounding. These are all subject to change, remember? And then the other amount, we'll take 50% of the VFOX and we'll harvest it to our preferred coin. And that could be Ethereum, BNB, BUSD, whatever you want to do. So that's someone that's kind of wants to take some profits. As I mentioned, would stake VFOX earned through the pool in the VFOX pool for more rewards. So every day we would earn a little bit of VFOX here. We would harvest it and would put it into this pool. Would earn more rewards in VFOX. Now just remember, when I say every day, if you don't have a large amount of money in this, you need to make sure that you're doing it at a worthwhile time. So if you've earned 2 VFOX and it's going to cost you $2 in gas to restake it, that might not be a worthwhile time. You might want to make that go to 5 or whatever. The final one I really should highlight is probably the most important thing. So community matters, and it's really important to get active in the community and to not just tell your friends about it, but really understand things. So if you tell your friend about it and they're like, okay, what about this? And you have no idea what the answer is, then it doesn't show a lot of kind of confidence in the project. So grow your bags obviously being your portfolio, get active in the community, get in Discord and promote the virtual space. You know, really get in there, get into Discord, and people come in with noob questions and you just direct them places. You know, maybe there's a video that I put up and you just send them a link, or maybe you just spend 10 minutes answering all their questions. It takes time, it takes effort, but that's a rewarding thing. Next strategy is for the farmer who doesn't care much but wants a small bag. Only reason I'm saying but wants a small bag is because if a farmer's just farming this and they don't want a small bag, I doubt they're watching this video. So the same thing applies. We're going to compound every day for 1 to 2 weeks. And then after 2 weeks, we're going to take profit and convert 5% of VFOX into RFOX and stake for VFOX. So exactly the same thing. We would harvest, we would trade, and only 5%. So if we harvested, say 100, we'd only have 5 VFOX go into the RFOX. As soon as we'd get that, send that transaction through, we'd come through and we would just go into the pool and would stake it there. And then we'd also stake that VFOX earned into this pool. And then, because we don't really care much about the community, if we're in this category, we'll just follow the team on Twitter and go and find a new farm. At the very least, follow the team on Twitter and check every couple of days, at the very, very least, because all of a sudden, you know, remember, smart person makes changes. Suddenly this rendering launches. Maybe a shop that's going to be in there is signed up to Nike. You know, like all of a sudden, then you're probably going to have to alter your strategy because this could be a super valuable product. Third one, this is for the RFOX equivalent of an Apple fanboy or fangirl. I'm sure you know what that means, but basically like #1 fan. We're going to compound every day for 3 weeks, regardless. The rewards drop, we're just going to compound. We are compounding. We'll go into our farms and we would harvest. We've still got RFOX sitting in there that we haven't allocated. We will throw them together and put them in. If we don't have any RFOX here, we'll grab half our VFOX. As you know, we'll convert half of it into RFOX. And we're going to do that. Transfer that through. And we're just going to go straight back into that farm, add that plus button, and we're just going to keep on compounding, compounding, compounding. This is for the fanboy. However, you know, buy yourself something nice maybe. So after 3 weeks, we're going to take profit and convert 100% of the VFOX into preferred coins for three days. So 3 weeks goes by, we've set a reminder on our calendar, everything's all good. We decide, okay, we're going to harvest, and then we're just going to go, you know what, I'm bullish on Ethereum. I'm just going to go VFOX into Ethereum. And that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to do that every day for 3 days. That way I've taken some profits, because it's always smart to take profits. And then we're just going to go back to repeat step A and repeat step C. We're just going to go boom. Okay, so that should be repeat step 3. 3B. That's pretty obvious. Okay, so we'll just do that one, and then we'll just alternate. And then once again, this is the most important thing. If you're jumping into this one here, you want to grow your bags. You want to get it active in the community, get in Discord, and promote the virtual space, of course. But become a moderator and become an ambassador. And this is where you are so bullish on this. You can't let someone else just do all the work. You need to get in there and do the work yourself. Anyway, look, appreciate you watching. This has been a long one. Apologies for that. I'm really not getting better at making these shorter. However, there was a lot of stuff to cover. So good luck with your farming. And nothing I have said is financial advice, just educational. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. If I'm not responding because I haven't seen it, just get me on Twitter, which is my link is in the description. Thanks again. Cheers. Bye.